Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here, we're live. Hopefully, you all can hear and see me clearly. If you can, please drop a 1 in the live chat, and then we can get today's show started. Big shout out to Lord Sky 9 for becoming a channel member here with tdhiphop Media. It's definitely much appreciated. Everyone's support is always appreciated on this channel, even if it's a $1 super chat. You'll never see me complaining about anything like that. And shout out to the good brother, sincere love to God. He said, I might have to agree with DeSantis on this one, bro. I don't disagree with DeSantis on this one. I don't disagree with him on this one at all. Though coming towards the end of the stream, we're going to get into what I believe his motives were for doing what he did. So on the surface, I don't disagree with what he did at all, but we'll get into all that, as the show progresses. Okay. So make sure you all, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Also, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms. And most importantly, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, the like button. I was brain farting just now, but make sure you hit the like button as well. That's very, very important. And Jay Holla, we have another channel member who just joined, Jay Holla. So that's 2 so far. Right at the top of the live stream. I am very humbled, and it is very much appreciated. Once again, your contributions to this channel does not go unnoticed. And I see the ones did come in, so we will get excuse me, into today's show, right? So this isn't a topic that's new. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot that's very, very important to me. If you have not watched this video that I released a few days ago already, please make sure you watch this video and share it out as well. This is not a piece of information that should just be going over everybody's heads. Okay. This video is a video that I released about, what was it, 2 days ago, something like that. Breaking: non-citizens can now become police officers in California by way of Bill SB 960. Do not let this piece of information go over your head. That is something very important. So please make sure you are sharing that video out as well. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, now we can actually get into today's show. Now, as far as the discussion that we're going to have today is concerned, this isn't a new discussion. It's been going on all week now concerning Ron DeSantis and him blocking AP African American history course, right? It was an advanced course in high school. I believe it was for college credits, right? A lot of people have talked about this already, but I haven't gotten around to speaking on it yet. So what I'm looking to do with today's live stream is to create a very, short and concise conversation surrounding this, so that when you share this video out, right, with your loved ones, family, and friends, it's something that is very shareable, because we're just going to get straight to the point and blow through this, and hopefully we can get done in 30 minutes. I say that all the time. It never happens. Hopefully today is the day. And I also don't have anything to drink with me today like I normally do, so I could already hear my voice getting hoarse. Is there any? Hold on a second. No, it's empty. All righty, so let's dive into today's show, shall we? I want to first start off with a clip. I believe, what's the press secretary's name? Karine Jean-Pierre. I want to start off with a clip from her and her original response to Governor DeSantis blocking African American history as they were saying it, right? I want to start off with her first, and then we're going to carry on with the discussion after that, okay?
Around here, Joey, I haven't gone.
Yeah, thank you. What was the White House's reaction to Governor Ron DeSantis's education department blocking the teaching of AP African American Studies, saying it violates Florida's new state law and, quote, significantly lacks educational value? Does the White House have concerns about this action by the DeSantis administration?
So first of all, I want to be very clear. The administration does not dictate any curriculum for local schools. That is not something that we do here. But there is something that we do want to comment. It is incomprehensible that to see that this is what this ban, or this block, to be more specific, that DeSantis has put forward. If you think about the study of Black Americans, that is what he wants to block. And again, these types of actions aren't new. They are not new from what we're seeing, especially from Florida. Sadly, Florida currently bans teachers from talking about who they are and who they love. As we've talked about many times here in this briefing room, they have banned more books in schools and libraries than almost every other state in the country. And let's not forget, they didn't block, be more clear, I want to make sure I'm using the right word here. They didn't block AP European history. They didn't block our music history. They didn't block our art history. But the state chooses.
I want you all to pay attention to that because there's a reason that I'm playing this, and we're going to come back to what she's saying regarding AP European history, music history, and art history. I'm going to come back to that shortly, but just remember that.
Is to block a course that is meant for high achieving high school students to learn about their history of arts and culture. And it is, it is incomprehensible again. And I will just leave it there. Leave it there to make your own determination of why this occurred and why this happened. Again, it is not our place to direct or to be involved in any local school curriculum, but this is concerning.
Now, obviously, Chris M., once again, thank you for the support. The contributions are always needed and deeply appreciated, and I'm very humbled by such a huge contribution to the channel. Thank you very much, Chris M. And not to take away from this show too much, but I was dying. I was contemplating whether or not I was going to address this or not. One shot, you ain't ish, brother. You ain't ish. He said, is your hairline FBA? No, it's not FBA. It's not. It used to be FBA when I was younger. My hairline used to be like right here when I was younger. I used to have an FBA hairline, but the more older I got, the more it started to recede and recede. Then people were able to notice, like, hey, that brother's Haitian. He's not FBA. But I used to have an FBA hairline when I was 17, 18, early 20s, mid 20s. You know what I'm saying? I had an FBA hairline back then. Once I hit about 32, 33 years old, I'm 37 now, the FBA hairline went away. Now it's all Haitian, okay? It's all, I got a whole Haitian hairline right now. Oh man, Lord Scott, thank you very much for your contribution to the channel. He said the Republicans and Democrats are playing ball. They are looping us in with LGBTQ and other niche political items. You can't get progress as a collective being lumped in with all these other groups. You are 100% correct, Lord Scott. You are 100% correct. Now, what I want to do next, and I can already tell we're not going to get through this in 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes though. What I want to do next, right after playing Karine Jean-Pierre, is that I want to get into Ron DeSantis's response to all of the critiques that came down concerning him blocking Black American history. Okay, so let's get into that very quickly. And before we do, Jay Marcus, thank you very much. I'm a Black American and lost my FBA hairline too. Appreciate the support. And also Kid Gravity Beyond, salute to TD, hashtag New Black Media. Thank you all for the support. It is definitely much appreciated and much needed. Now let's get into the next video concerning Ron DeSantis.
Controversy today over the state rejecting a proposal to add a new AP course on African American studies. While civil rights leaders say that it is a move to erase Black history, Governor Ron DeSantis is firing back, saying it violates Florida law.
This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda.
Okay, I want to pause it right there because I 100% agree with what Ron DeSantis is saying right there, right? Those are all political agendas. When I send my son to school, I don't need him to be indoctrinated in any type of theories or any other political agendas when when he's supposed to be learning history, right? All I need my son to know is the facts about history, how things actually happen. And from that point forward, he can make up his own mind on what he wants to do with that information politically. But let that be up to him and his own mind and his own decision. I don't need a school pushing any type of political theories or ideologies on my son. If anybody's going to indoctrinate my son, it's going to be me. But that's not what I send my son to school what I send my son to school for. So I'm 100% in alignment with what DeSantis just stated. Now let's get back into what he's talking about.
And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards.
10 Investigates Emerald Morrow asked the state to clarify its concerns with the course. The Department of Education sent us this list you see on the screen. Now, in addition to the concern over Black queer studies, they also cited concerns over lessons on reparations, the Black Lives Matter movement, and activism, which included a study on Black communists.
Okay, now let's pause right there for a moment, okay? Black queer studies, we already addressed that, but we're going to get a little bit more into that too before I finish this part out, right? But Black queer studies, for the most part, we've addressed that. Let's talk about the reparations portion right now, right? That reparations portion is a trick bag. And the reason it's a trick bag is because they inserted that in there so that Black folks, can get excited and go, hey, they're talking about reparations in there. This course has to be a good thing. How can you be against it? We need to talk about reparations. We need to discuss this in our schools, in our classes. Here's the thing that kills me. The left, right? Democrats, they want to have you studying reparations until the second coming of Jesus Christ come. Okay, like that's what their goal is. We're just going to study reparations. When you look at the history of reparations, right, concerning American history, all the times that the American government has paid out reparations, right, to other groups. And when you look at reparations across the world to whoever they've been paid out to, have you ever seen or heard of there needing to be a necessity for the children of those who would be receiving reparations to study reparations in school beforehand? They have to go through an AP course and study reparations before they can get their reparations. And then on top of that, the government needs to study reparations before they can get their reparations. You've never heard of anything like this before. It's only here in America concerning Black Americans, particularly the descendants of American slavery, where this kind of nonsense is being pushed, right? So it's a trick bag. That's all that it is. No studies on reparations need to be had, right? Your child doesn't need to go to school to learn about and study reparations in high school. The United States government, all they need to do is cut the check. That's it. Send the payments out. That's all they need to do. There's no studying that needs to be had. It's total nonsense and complete ridiculousness. And then coming back to the list that they have here, right? When you're talking about Black Lives Matter, activism, and studies, and the study on Black communists, all of that falls under the line and the guise of Black Lives Matter. All of that is Black Lives Matter. That's what that is, right? The founders of Black Lives Matter were all three of them, three females, right? They're communists, right? They're open communists. That's not me saying that as some sort of like right-wing, person, right? On with the folks on the right, everything is communism. Everything communism. I can care less about you studying communism or what you feel or think about communism, because communism in and of itself is outdated, just like capitalism is on its way out the door being outdated, because we're moving closer and closer towards a cashless technocracy. Like that's where the country and the world is headed. So communism and all that other stuff is outdated. I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't want to hear anything about that. Haven't seen you around in a long time. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back says, TD, how much is the check going to be? I have no idea how much the check is going to be. I don't know how much the check is going to be at all, because I won't be getting a check. I don't know how much the check is going to be, but they need to cut the check. And it's good to see you again. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Like I said, it's been a while. But I want to go back to Black Lives Matter very quickly as well, too, right? Because Black Lives Matter really, let me pull this up real quick. It really encompasses this whole list that you're looking at right now, right? With the exception of reparations, because I've never heard Black Lives Matter seriously stomp the yard for reparations, right? But going back to queer studies as well, Black Lives Matter was founded by communists. Okay, so that we got that out the way. But obviously, as many of you may know, but if some of you don't know, Black Lives Matter is an LGBTQ organization. It was founded and created for the purpose of pushing the LGBTQ agenda. And before anybody says otherwise to me, I'm just going to prove that point to be true right now. So give me just a moment while I play this video for you. Many of you have seen me play this before. It's been a while. So here's a little, I guess, throwback Friday, you can say.
Thank you so much for having me. I think that it is crucial that we understand that Black trans people have been the blueprint for the struggle for Black freedom for forever. We, the founders of Patrice Cullors, Opal Tometi, all three of them started Black Lives Matter with the intention of Black trans women being at the center of this work. As the movement has grown and as time has passed, we've perhaps moved away from that in some ways, but I think that in general we have to understand that this moment that we are experiencing requires and necessitates the presence, uplifting, and empowerment of Black trans people. And I think that the moment that we find ourselves in is one that I hope has longevity and continues to move forward.
So, I mean, as you can see right there, you know, Black Lives Matter is an LGBTQ organization. It always has been. And as that individual stated, it was created for the purposes of pushing the LGBTQ struggle. So now what I want to do next is that I want to continue on with this news clip. And then obviously we're going to stop a couple more times along the way.
In Alabama. Just minutes after the governor defended the rejection, activists and civil rights leaders spoke in Tallahassee saying there needs to be a larger conversation about how Black history is taught in Florida schools.
I see this basically as a smokescreen because our governor really needs some classes himself in dealing with sensitivity on race, particularly African American history. And so therefore, I am recommending if the governor decides he wants to have a statewide conference on race, we want to oblige him to try to help him if we can.
Okay, so this is your Black Miss Leadership class, right? That's the local Black leadership class. That's the local Black leadership class in Florida. But that Black leadership class that's local in Florida is the same Black leadership class that you see throughout the nation concerning the Congressional Black Caucus. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're talking about Los Angeles concerning Karen Bass being the new mayor, you're talking about Eric Adams becoming the mayor, who is the mayor in New York City. It's all the same. It's all the same Black Miss Leadership class. Pan-Africanism strikes back again with another super chat. Contributions are always needed and always welcome. Thank you very much. And it does not go unnoticed. Pan-Africanism strikes back said reparations got folks in a trance. As it should, in my opinion. You should be in a trance and should be moving forward actively towards getting it. One of the things, just on a quick side note, that always seems to kind of baffle me is when those who have something against reparations, they feel as if you can't pursue reparations and also pursue other endeavors at the same time. You know, I don't understand that. But that's just kind of the mindset of people who tend to not be for reparations. I don't get it, but you know, just because you're advocating for reparations doesn't mean that you're not also going about your business accomplishing other things as well, whether it be in your personal life or politically, you know. So, but anyways, that's just me. I don't want to get too far off track, right? But here's one of the things as well that I want to point out. When it comes to the Black Miss Leadership class, why is it that they are so heck bent? You all know I don't like to curse, but they're so heck bent on pushing these things through Black American history. Because if you listen to what they're saying, And Benjamin Crump was recently down in Florida as well. He was recently down in Florida, part of some march that was going on. I think it was in Tampa Bay or something, surrounding this whole fiasco that's happening. And when you listen to them speak on this, they never address what Ron DeSantis actually says concerning why he blocked the class. They don't address it. They just keep perpetuating the lie, right? They continue to perpetuate the lie that all he's doing is something racist. He just wants to block Black history for the sake of blocking Black history, when that's not what he's doing and that's not what he says. Yet they want to perpetuate that lie, right? And the real question is, why is that? Let me look at my notes real quick so I don't get lost. Oh, and here's the thing. Going back to Corinne Jean-Pierre, right? And what she stated saying concerning Ron DeSantis, he didn't block AP European history. He didn't block music history, and he didn't block art history. Well, you know why he didn't block those histories? Because in those AP classes, they didn't attempt to incorporate queer theory. I'm pretty sure throughout the history of Europe in AP European history, there were some queers over there doing whatever it was they were doing. I'm sure be contributing to European society. I don't doubt that. So why not insert that into AP European history? There have been plenty of queer and LGBT people who have had major contributions, right, in music history and art history as well, right? Why not incorporate that queer theory into those histories? They don't do it. They only incorporate that type of history and these type of ideologies and theories and politics into Black American history, right? And this is something that goes even beyond when you're talking about politics and history. They do this stuff in the movies as well, right? Let me show you guys a few examples of this, because I really want to hammer this home, especially to those of you who are kind of new to this type of information, right? Let me bring this up on the screen right now. Look at this. If my mouse would work. Take a look at this, right? Countries are censoring the new Buzz Lightyear movie over same-sex kissing scene. It's not the first time that Disney has faced LGBTQ backlash, right? Following a year marked by turmoil with its LGBTQ plus fan base and employees, Disney is releasing its first ever movie that shows a gay kiss. And it's not showing up right now, but it was the Buzz Lightyear movie. The Buzz Lightyear movie, if I remember correctly, it flopped. It flopped pretty hard. But in that Disney movie, they had their first ever LGBTQ kiss scene, and I believe it was between two lesbian women, if I'm not mistaken. Now let's go over to Marvel, right? The gay kiss in Eternals was censored in some Middle Eastern countries. Okay. Marvel Studios' first gay kiss, another first gay kiss, right? Another first gay kiss has been censored in some Middle Eastern countries, but Eternals is still breaking new ground when it comes to queer representation in this area. And what I forgot to mention earlier, right, concerning the Buzz Lightyear movie, is that first gay kiss was between a lesbian Black woman, right? With a lesbian Black woman. And that was how they were promoting it, because a lesbian Black woman in that movie was one of the leads or one of the strong supporting roles. Okay. So the first Black kiss in a Disney cartoon movie was a lesbian Black woman. Now at Marvel Studios, their first gay kiss with superheroes was a Black man. Shout out to Paperboy. It was Paperboy from the TV show Atlanta. He's the first gay superhero that's kissing on screen. Okay, this is how they introduce all this stuff. And I see some super chats coming in. I'll get to them in just a moment. Just work with me. Thank you very much. I'm going to get to those. And then now let's move to one of the latest Disney films that came out. Here's how Strange World introduces the first out gay teenager in a Disney animated film. It was a beautiful thing to be a part of. So now Disney put out, it was late last year, their first ever gay teenager movie. Give me just a second. I think something. Are you all still with me? I'm sorry if I'm slowing down the stream now. Please drop a 1 in the live chat if you can still hear me. Drop a 1 in the live chat because it looked like on my end things dropped off. I just want to make sure that we're still rocking. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the ones are coming in. Okay, that was weird. But look at all that I've showed you so far. Every time, even in the movies, when they want to do a gay first, right? The gay first in every movie is always through a black character. Disney loves introducing gay first with black characters. Gay kiss here, gay kiss there. Black main character. Marvel Studios did the same thing. This is a common reoccurring theme, okay? A common reoccurring theme. Now, coming down, we're winding down to the end of this stream, right? So, at the end of the day, why is this actually happening and what's really going on? I don't think I need my notes anymore to round this out, right? Why is this happening and what's really going on, right? Concerning the need and necessity to push the gay agenda through Black Americans, and then what's really going on concerning Ron DeSantis. He appears to be protecting Black American history. Well, let's be honest, okay? Let's really be honest. Only thing that's happening here, as I forgot who it was that stated it earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, essentially it's all just political games that's being played, right? And Black Americans are simply the political pawns being used to push for or fight against a agenda, right? Which in this case is the LGBTQ agenda or queer agenda, right? But you're also used as well to push feminist ideologies and all those things as well. Now, why is that such a brilliant thing? Thank you very much, Val Williams. Now, why is that such a brilliant thing on behalf of the Democrats, right? Well, one of the reasons that the Democrats use Black Americans as the vehicle, right? They're used as the vehicle to push these agendas is because the moment, like in this case, Ron DeSantis comes out against it, he can immediately be labeled as being racist, right? He's immediately racist. But then if there's somebody like myself who's also against this stuff and pushing this agenda through Black history and all this other stuff, if somebody like myself, I'm against it as well. Well, I can immediately be written off as being homophobic. And not only that, how many of you all remember back when they were pushing the talking point that Black men are the white men of the Black community? So now I'm a white man. I have instantly become a white man because this, apparently, according to that rule of that train of thought, all Black men, what we really want to do is we want to be the white men of our community, oppress women, oppress the LGBTQ, and practice patriarchy stuff, patriarchy oppression on our own people, right? That's the brilliance behind the Democrats and or the left, you can simply say, constantly pushing this through Black America. But now let's visit Ron DeSantis. Is Ron DeSantis really trying to save Black history? No. Ron DeSantis does not care about Black history. He can care less. The only people that you should expect to care about Black history is other Black people. Anybody outside of Black people, by default, they don't care about Black history. It just happened conveniently that Ron DeSantis, who was attempting to stomp out all of the woke ideology concerning queer this and feminist that, right? It just so happened that this stuff was placed into your history and he's attempting to stomp it out. And in him doing so, it also makes him look good as well amongst the Republican base and those that would wish to convert Black Americans over to the Republican side. Because I subscribe to a lot of right-wing and kind of, you could say, Republican channels on YouTube as well. I listen to everybody speak. Right. And when you listen to Black conservatives speak on what Ron DeSantis did, they champion Ron DeSantis as if he's attempting to save Black history. Like this is something that he truly did from the bottom of his heart, when it simply isn't true. Ron DeSantis is the same man, right, that after the Black Lives Matter protest happened, he put into law, it was basically an anti-protesting law that would essentially put you in jail for protesting. If you're out in the street, blocking the highway where cars can't come past, right? Then you're going to go to jail, not for a long time, but in like 24 hours in jail, something like that. You're going to pay a crazy fine, an absurd fine, and that's going to be now you're going to have a criminal record. But here's the thing though. When white Hispanics, Cubans, I think it was about a month after that law was put into place, there were Cubans that were protesting something going on in Cuba in the Miami streets. They were blocking the streets, they were blocking the highways. And was that law put into place? Was it enacted to put all those Cubans in jail? No, it wasn't enacted at all. They didn't activate it, not one bit. So then what does that tell you? And I remember when Ron DeSantis was asked about that as well. And they said, okay, you put this law into place, this anti-protesting law, you can't be blocking the highways and the freeways and the streets and all that kind of stuff. Well, these Cubans were out there doing it. White Hispanics, the Cubans were doing it. How come nobody went to jail? How come there were no fines? How come nobody was arrested? And Ron DeSantis' excuse, if I remember correctly, is that, well, it's at the police officer's discretion. Translation: if it's a protest surrounding Black Americans that are in support of Black Americans, or if it's just Black Americans out there just doing whatever it is that they're doing, trying to do some sort of protest, arrest them, mess their lives up, throw them in jail, give them the hefty fines, and put a criminal record on their background. He did that for you. So don't be fooled into thinking that this man actually cares, right? Because he doesn't. It just so happened that in his attempt to stomp out woke ideology, well, it was inserted into your history by those on the left in Florida. And he said, I'm going to get that up out of here. If you're going to do regular history, do regular history. But if you're going to put this woke ideology into it, well, then I'm going to stomp it out. And another thing, too, people don't really understand how big and how strong the culture war going on within the dominant society is as well, concerning queer theory and woke ideology and everything of that nature. Like there's a really, really, really strong culture war happening within their community. And I have to reiterate, it happens within their community. They impose it on you, the left, but that's not something that's going on with us. It's happening in their community. Like I explained in my live stream yesterday with Rob on our other channel, the joint channel me and Rob have, just talking with TD and Rob, right? My wife has a cousin that lives far out, about an hour away from here, near Six Flags, right? And it's a very affluent area, predominantly white folks over there with money. And I remember her cousin was telling me in the school that she went to over there, the high school, they were pushing all that queer theory and feminist this and everything like that heavy over there. They were pushing it heavy in her schools over there, where it's predominantly white and wealthy and left, apparently leftist, right? But now when you come over here to where I stay at in Los Angeles in South Central, shout out to Torian. I had to throw that in there. I stay in South Central just for Torian, because he was giving me problems in a live chat yesterday. Torian on the Just Talking with TD and Rob. Torian was like, man, TD don't ever miss an opportunity to say he live in South Central. No, I don't. But over here, back when the children were still doing remote learning, right? My son at the time was in, I believe it was second grade. And I'll never forget this. And I was home, obviously I had to, because somebody has to be present with him. He was only second grade. And one of the students in his class, it was a girl, and she was Black too, very innocently, she brought up, hey, teacher, I don't want to say her name. I saw a video on YouTube where a man was got pregnant, right? And the teacher immediately, who was Hispanic, she shut it down instantly. She shut it down. And she told her, don't talk like that and don't speak about those things. That's not appropriate. And she's correct. It's not appropriate on this side, right? Where the Black folks are and where, Hispanics are as well. I guess the people of color. We all know I don't like that term, but, we'll use it for now. Over on this side where we're at, right? You don't see that being pushed into schools over here. It's not. But when you go over to where the Mzungus are, the dominant society live, they're pushing that heavy. And one last example that I'll give you, concerning that, I'll never forget this as well. For those of you, many of you know already, I'm a Christian man, right? It's not something that I shy away from. Christian man, right? I go to church and all that good stuff, right? Now on Saturdays, there is like a specific like men's group, right? Like every other Saturday, like 2 Saturdays a month, right? They'll have like a men's group, little Bible study thing that's just for men's, right? Now, in that group, right? All of us men, there's about maybe like, I don't know, 40 of us in there. We break off into groups of 5, right? I'm gonna try to make this story quick, so I'm not too long-winded. We break off into groups of like 5 or maybe 10, and then we go separate in our own way, and then we have our discussions surrounding whatever scriptures that we're discussing, right? And there was a white guy that's in our group, and I'll never forget as well. We were speaking on the things that we need prayer for, right? The group was coming towards an end. We were about to leave. And how it always ends is that, what do you need prayer for? What do you need prayer for? And one of the things, right, that this white man said that he needed prayer for was for his family and for his daughter, because his daughter, who was 13 years old, had been fully indoctrinated into the LGBTQ agenda, fully indoctrinated into it. And he says that in his household, he has these conversations and arguments with her about this stuff all the time, all day long. She's only 13 years old and she's LGBTQ'd out, right? I'm not saying that that's her sexual preference at 13. I don't know what that is at her age, right? But what I am saying, as far as like the ideology, the agenda, it's been firmly implanted into her mind, right? And that's what he wanted prayer for. That's what he needed prayer for, because of the problems that was creating in his household, and that his own daughter, 13 years old, has gotten to the point that she didn't even respect him anymore, right? Because he's not on board with the LGBTQ agenda. So now his 13-year-old daughter losing respect for him and don't even really want to listen to him like that anymore, right? Another quick story as well, and then I'm going to end this live stream, because I just want to reiterate this point. Many of you who've been following me for a couple years now, you remember a few years back, right before the illness hit back in 2019, right? I was a Lyft driver. I used to speak on that quite a bit. Remember one day I'm in my car, I'm driving, I pick up a sister, me and her are talking, and we're in the car while I'm driving her, taking her to her destination. And I remember me and her started laughing because she was telling me about, a Mzungu that walked up to her, right? When she was pushing her granddaughter. The Black woman was pushing her granddaughter in a stroller. The Mzungu walked up to her and said, "Oh, are you going to let your child decide what they want to be?" And the lady was like, the Black woman was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Yeah, your child. Are you raising them non-binary?" And the Black woman was like, she wasn't rude or anything to her at all. Like when she was telling me the story, she was like, no, she's just a girl. That's it. That's all. But when she was telling me the story in the car, she was super animated concerning like what she was really thinking when the woman asked her that. It was hilarious. But I just want to drive that point home. This is a culture war that's happening within their community, and they're using the Black community to further it, right? That's what's going on. It's just political games. Neither side cares. They don't care. Left don't care. The right don't care. Democrats don't care. Republicans don't care. Karine Jean-Pierre, who I played earlier, she doesn't care, right? But you have some Black folks that are fooled into thinking that she does. On the right side as well, concerning, I was going to say George DeSantis, Ron DeSantis, some of our brothers on the right-leaning side, they're fooled into thinking that Ron DeSantis cares. He does not care. It just so happened to be that this woke stuff was in your history over there, and he stomped it out, but he's also able to use it and leverage it as well to say, hey, look at me preserving Black history, right? That's all that's going on here. So anyways, with all that being said, that does it for today's show. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Today was a really good stream. I wasn't able to finish the stream in 30 minutes, but 44 minutes, most likely 45 minutes by the time I get done talking. I guess that's good enough. Next Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? or 1:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm shifting the live streams over. Remember, I said that, I was going to do the live streams at 2 p.m. and I did that for a while, but things have changed in my life to where I have to shift the live streams over to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Friday. But y'all know I'm always late, so it'll probably be 1:15 p.m. Right? But anyways, be here next week, next Friday, between 1 p.m. and 1:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the next live stream. Please make sure you share this out. Also, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Do not exit this live stream without hitting the like button. And lastly, for all of you who contribute to the show today, thank you very much. Your contributions are, like I always say, definitely needed. It does not go unnoticed. I'm truly humbled and appreciative towards the contributions that you send me for the work that I put in on this channel. Even if it's $1, all of it is welcomed. And I thank you all. Have a great day. Or if you're on the East Coast, have a great evening. And I will catch you guys live next Friday. And Deborah Burrow, I believe that's how you pronounce your last name, with the buzzer beater super chat. The buzzer beater super chat. Thank you very much. My elbows look ashy on camera, don't they? They're not ashy though, for real. That's just how it look on camera. It's the light that making it look like that. I'm not walking around out here ashy. Anyways, I'll holler at you guys next Friday, and I'll catch you guys on the pre-uploads throughout the week. Peace.